You are listening to the Yummy Mummy podcast, episode number 183.
Welcome to the Yummy Mummy podcast, where you will learn brand new and shockingly different tools to lose weight for the last time. And now, here's your host, certified life and weight loss coach, Laura Conley.
Hello, Yummy Mummies. What's going on? I feel like I've been in a little bit of a flow with guests because it's just really fun to have guests on. So you guys are going to get to meet my friend Tanya today, and we're going to talk all about style, how to dress for your body, how to love getting dressed, and maybe a little leveling up your style. So before we dive in, I wanted to let you guys know that if you go to the show notes or you just listen to my voice, I've opened up spots for coffee chats for my podcast audience. So if you want to go to lauraconley.com and book a coffee chat and learn more about the Yummy Mummy, you totally can. These are literally non-sleazy, non-slimy, fun coffee chats where we just get to talk about you and where you are in your weight loss journey. And if you have any questions about the Yummy Mummy, you can ask me one-on-one during those calls. So go to lauraconley.com and book one of those before I stop doing this. So without further ado, let me have Tanya introduce herself. So Tanya Bernadette, welcome to the show. Give us the scoop. Tell us how you got into styling and tell us a little bit about where you are. You got kids, just give us a little scoop. I like a little professional and personal background.
Oh, yeah. You want to get to know the person. Well, I'm not going to bore you with the details because it's kind of a long story how I started, but I have been a personal stylist, had my business for 15 years. I started when I was 22 years old. It was kind of a crazy story getting started. I did go to school for fashion, which is kind of rare for a personal stylist, but I knew in my heart I wanted to do styling. I wanted to help people, especially here in Seattle, Washington, where I'm located. Style is not a big thing, but people need help. And I think sometimes people don't know what to wear. And so that's why they feel like they can't look cute, but you don't need to know about fashion to feel good in what you're wearing. So when I was 22 years old, little me kept telling everybody I was going to be a stylist. And I remember going to Ballard in Seattle. It's this beautiful area in Seattle, cute little shops. And I was like, who can I connect with here to get me where I'm going? And I see this beautiful hair salon with the chandelier, the black and white decor. I'm like, that's where I need to be. And I walk in and I'm like, can I have the owner cut my hair? They're like, she actually has a spot available. So I sit down with the owner and I tell her, I am going to be a stylist. I'm looking for an office. And I was not, by the way, I was 22 years old, recent grad. And she turns the chair around. She's like, I'm renting upstairs. I have this beautiful loft that you can rent for your styling office. And after we're done getting my haircut, we go up there. And it's like in a movie where you scan the room and everything appears of everything you can create there. It was magical moment. French doors. It had a view of the city. And I was like, yes, give me the lease. I am signing it. I had 0 clients, by the way. I was married at the time, and I go all excited, I'm a businesswoman. And I go tell my husband, I'm like, I signed a year lease. And he's like, you don't have a client. You don't have a website. And I started crying. I'm like, well, I'm going to do it. And then I call the women back. I'm like, hey, I know it's just there and I signed the lease, but we need to break that lease because I didn't tell you I actually don't have a business yet. And she was like, you need to get your big girl panties on. You saw something that you could create and you're going to make it happen. You signed a lease. That's a binding contract, so you can't get out of it. So you have a year to figure it out. Yeah. But anyways, a long story short, thanks to her, I created a business from an empty space for 3 months, got an intern, did the PR thing, and I'm still here 15 years later doing it. So
I love that she was like, you're going to do it. That is so cool. That's so badass. Okay.
Right? You need that fire under your butt sometimes to really believe and see and make happen what you have in your heart. So I like to share that story because I feel like all of us can have that too. And so fast forward to now. I've been in business for a while and now I do work remotely. I've probably since then had 4 offices, so not a big deal renting a space. But now I do work from home. I do a lot of Zoom. I work with people all over the place. And I am married for the third time. Third time's a charm. And I have and I have a little 4-year-old and my husband has an 8-year-old and we are a modern family just doing the
Mm.
thing.
I love that. That's so awesome. Okay, so I know my clients in this audience have like a million questions for you around style. So let's just dive right into it. So, as my clients or my audience is losing weight, how do you coach your people or advise your people on like what to do with their clothes? Like, should they get rid of all the clothes that no longer fit because they've lost weight? Should they buy clothes when they're not at their goal weight, but they don't really have anything that fits? Like, how should they handle this?
I have so many things to say about this. By the way, I work with a lot of people in not only the weight loss journey, but people that have gained weight or already lost the weight. And sometimes it's hard to see your body for what it is, for where it is now when you go through this process. And the biggest thing I tell people is buy clothes that fits you now. That does
Mm,
not mean that you need to invest and buy a whole new wardrobe. If you're in the process of losing weight, you still want clothing that fits. Buy an outfit this month, buy another outfit next month, or maybe the pants still fit and you only need to buy 2 new shirts next month because your boobs got smaller, whatever, as you lost weight. So don't put the pressure on yourself that you have to buy like a whole new wardrobe as you're losing weight. But let me tell you, with clients, when they are losing weight and they buy clothes that fits, you feel so much better about your body. Off the call, just gonna say, we talked about being a stuffed sausage. Like, are you gonna do that? No, no, because you know what's gonna happen when you're on Zoom? If you're on a conversation with somebody trying to talk about your business, do your thing, the whole time you're going to be thinking about yourself and you're not going to be able to give your best self to the person in front of you. It
mm.
sounds weird, but you want to feel like you don't have clothes on. You
Yes.
want to feel so good in your clothes that you're not like, oh my gosh, my pants are pinching or my shirt just feels so bad. Like, oh, you want to feel good in what you're wearing. So I always
Mm,
tell people, like, buy an outfit now. It doesn't
yeah.
have to be a whole new wardrobe.
Yeah, like literally, you could buy one outfit or two outfits that get you through the next month
Yeah.
and you just wear them. Oh, I mean, I don't know if that'd be your advice, but like my advice, like
Yeah.
wear them over and over again. Who cares?
Yeah, and it's different too. I mean, if you are somebody that is on like, you also have to take your lifestyle into consideration. If you have a business and you are very much on camera all the time, maybe it's not investing in the pants or bottoms necessarily. It's just investing in nice tops or
Mm,
jewelry that you can take from one call to another to another. So you do have to think too about your lifestyle. And when I work with clients, it is really thinking about your body, but also what your lifestyle is like and who
mm,
you are and what you want. So there are
yeah.
3 elements that go into building your personal style and what you need.
Okay, so let's dive into those three elements. Will you talk to us a little bit more about those?
I do have to say, a lot of people get so caught up with body type. And yes, let me tell you, it is important. You want clothing that fits your body. But I would say people always forget that you have to think about your life. You read and see all these like Instagram posts of like all these cute people and their dresses going to brunch and lunch and the event. And you're like, why can't I look cute like that? And you're like, I buy those things, like, don't wear them because you don't have anywhere to go. You don't have to, don't buy things that don't make sense for your life. You have to take your life into consideration. If you're a mom working from home, you need things that wash well. You need things that have color. So if you get a stain on it, it's okay. You're not going to be
Mm.
able to really see it. You have to think practically a little bit about your personal style. So that's where the lifestyle comes into play.
Okay, so that's element number one.
Yeah. Know
Yes.
about what your life is day to day. You want to dress that.
Mhm.
It's fine if it's not exciting. You can still have like exciting things in your wardrobe, but be realistic what you're doing. Number 2, it is about your body. So after you know, like, okay, this is like what my life is like, the 3 things I really need to dress for, take your body into consideration, but don't be too hard on yourself. You can break rules. So I'm going to give you a great example. A lot of people talk about, I can't wear horizontal stripes because it's going to
Mm.
make me look wider. And it's like, yes and no. If you do a big contrast of like black and white, big dramatic stripes, that's going to make any part of your body not look that flattering. It's
Mhm.
going to draw too much attention. But when you think about your body, think about the parts of your body that you really like, that you want to show off. And again, be realistic. Is it your boobs? Some people really like to show off their boobs, and so they want to show cleavage. Some people feel very conservative and insecure, even though they have really nice big boobs, and they just want to put everything a little bit higher. So that's where body type comes into play. Like, yes, there are rules, but it really depends on how you feel about that part of your body, because
Mhm.
you get to decide what you want to show and what you want to conceal a little bit more.
Yeah.
The big one I hear is I need to my tummy area. Regardless if people had children or not, women have a thing about their tummies. Like, nobody's tummy is flat. I'm just going to say, like, I've worked with like a
You're like, "I've
ton.
seen them all."
I've seen naked women all the time in person, even on Zoom. People are taking their clothes off in front of me. Like, there are very few people that have that realistic tummy that is flat, but that doesn't change, how you feel about yourself. You still want to feel good in your clothing. So it's more about finding tops and clothing that skim your body rather than tight fitting if you feel uncomfortable at that area. You
Mm,
also don't want something that is so loose
mm,
that you look like a tent and feel like a tent when you're it. So I always tell
mhm,
people the best pieces are ones that just kind of skim your body. Not too
mm.
tight unless you feel good in it, like what I'm wearing right now, tight, but I like it, but not too
Yeah,
flowy either, because then you're just hiding.
yeah, yeah, totally, I love that. Okay, so what's the 3rd element?
Your body, your lifestyle, and your goals. So
Mm,
you and your goals. What do you want for yourself? For some people, they start realizing like I'm I've actually heard this. I'm not sure if you have, but especially after COVID, people had stopped shopping, they had gained weight. People were not going out with their girlfriends because they had nothing to wear. I'm like, really?
mhm,
You've just stayed at home because you have nothing to wear? So think about what your goals are. If you want to get out and network more, if you
mhm,
want to date, if you want to take your business to the next level and attract different people that are coming into your world, you need to take that into consideration too when you are shopping and what you're getting. So if you wanna be like the mom in hoodies, totally fine, but you're gonna attract and be with the mom in hoodies. You wanna be with the moms doing things, going out, you need to wear clothing that shows, "I'm that fun mom that I wanna have a play date where we're going out and doing things together." So, think about what your goals are so that you
mm,
can buy the clothing that fits that.
I love that. Okay, so you
Mhm.
mentioned rules. What are some other rules that people wanna follow, that you wanna break? Like, I am kind of a rule breaker. But
Yeah.
there's those classic rules, like you can't wear white after Labor Day. I mean, I feel like that's pretty debunked by now, but talk to us about some rules and then what your thoughts are about those rules. Cause I think we're really, really aligned and like this idea of choice, right? And like you
Mhm.
get to choose, you get to decide, you get to like find and explore what your style is. So I'm curious what some of the rules are that you see the most often and what your opinions are.
People restrict what they can wear based on color. So they're like, "Oh my gosh,
Mm,
I cannot put black and brown together or black and navy. Oh
mm,
no." And when I show them how chic it looks, like
mm.
right now, brown is like a big color for the season and for fall. So you're going to see a
Mm,
lot of brown, and it hasn't been in for quite a while. They were
mm,
trying to bring it back last year, but you could do like a beautiful like brown dress and a black Gucci belt and black
mm,
boots. So you can do black and brown. I promise you can say,
mm.
Tanya, I heard Tanya on the podcast and she told me I could mix these neutrals together. Like, that's a big set one. Like, when I share like how to put something together and I do that, it blows people's minds. So
Yeah.
that's a huge one. Another rule that you can break, if you have worn it in the past decade, you can wear it again. A lot of people are like, oh my gosh, I did the 90s. I did the thing. You can't wear what you wore before. Yes, you can. I did this really cute Instagram story where I was shopping with a client. I'm a 90s girl, and I recreated a look from Phoebe from Friends. But
Mm,
in the story, I share like the whole thing about bringing it back is you get to do it differently. And I'm like,
mhm.
the past Phoebe from the 90s looked like she was homeless hippie, but my version of it is chic elevated 90s. And it was like huge difference. So you can bring back a trend that you had worn from the past, but you can make it different Now,
Mm,
there's modern touches that you can add or even elevating it with nicer brands. It
mm,
looks different and feels different when you wear something that's Alice and Olivia or Reformation as opposed to Levi's. Like,
mm.
change what you were wearing. Don't wear the same brand that you did, but change it up and try something new.
I love that. Okay, any other rules? Any other
Um,
rules that you see that you wanna break, or any rules that are out there that you actually do follow?
Rules, you know what I follow? A rule that I follow is doing a fitted top and wide leg pants. Like, you don't
Mm,
want too baggy on baggy. You
mm,
can do it sometimes, but if you're doing photos and stuff, it doesn't look as great unless it's a flowy fabric, like the oversized suit. I absolutely love. I got an oversized suit and I'm petite and I could totally pull it off, but it has to be a soft fabric that drapes nicely because a stiff fabric
mm,
looks stiff and boxy, where a fabric that's really soft just kind of drapes on your body nice. So,
mm.
yeah, doing like fitted top, it's an easy rule for people to follow too. If you're confused on how to wear wide leg pants, the easy rule is just wear a fitted top, tuck it in, and wear the wide leg
Mm,
pants, and you'll feel really good.
I love it. Oh my god, you should see my piece of paper, you guys. I have, like, 400 new questions for
Good.
for
Yes.
Tanya.
Do it.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. Okay, tell us a little bit about jeans, because like, what the F with the jeans? Like, are skinny jeans totally out? Do we have to throw them away, or do we just need to save them for, like, 10 years when they inevitably come back in? Talk to us about, like, styles of jeans, especially if you get really comfortable, like, in your skinny jeans, and now the wide leg ones are really popular, the boyfriend ones, and, like, I just some of them I can't get behind. So talk to us about jeans. I wrote on my paper, "Jeans, help."
Jeans, there are so many different kinds. Funny enough, right now I wish you could see my pants, but I'm wearing baggy jeans and they are my most comfortable go-to jeans and they
Mm,
look so cute. So I tell people explore the different options
mm,
and be open to what is new because sometimes the way that you style it will change how you feel about the piece. Skinny jeans, I say you can still wear it if you feel
mm,
good wearing it, but you want to update it. So if you're
mm,
going to wear the skinny jeans, you need to wear like a cool blazer that's slightly oversized or just something fun. Like hoop earrings are really earrings in general. All kinds of earrings are really in right now. Like buy something new that you can integrate to the skinny
mhm.
jeans and make them look more modern and fresh if you're going to still wear them. I don't say that you can't wear something if it's out, like skinny jeans,
Yeah.
but you could just make it more modern by the way you style it. With pants, like I just mentioned, the loose pants are really great. They're super comfortable. A lot of my clients, so like I said, I've been doing this 15 years. When I started was when skinny jeans were coming in and everybody was against it. I
Yeah.
had to put people in the fitting room in those skinny jeans and they're like, how could I possibly wear these tight pants? And now my clients, as I show them wider leg pants, like, how could I possibly put away my skinny jeans? So it's so
Yeah.
funny being in this like circle moment, like this 360 moment of things coming, like going around where I'm suffering with clients again. But once the clients get into the wider leg pants, I have to say, I'd say like 90% love it because they're like, why have I been wearing skinny jeans? They are so tight and uncomfortable.
Tight.
Like
Yeah.
my wide leg pants, I can do things. I can move. I can squat. I could go on the floor. I could go to work in heels or I could wear my sneakers. They're like, what was I doing with my skinny jeans? So it's so
Yeah.
funny that
It's
people
so
are
true.
really embracing and loving the wider leg. And skinny jeans, even for me, I have a straight body. Like I have a mannish body, and skinny jeans on me just do not look good. And
Mm.
yeah, I do not feel the best in skinny jeans. And funny enough, before when they were in, I just wore skirts and dresses. And now that wide leg pants are in, I only wear pants because they look so good on me. So
Oh, that is
yeah,
so
I'm
fun.
embracing the wider leg pants.
So, I mean, this is kind of for fun, and we'll get into some other, like, more deep stuff, but, like, any other trends that you you've noticed that are, like, coming for fall or anything else that are, like, you've talked about earrings being really in, like, maybe skinny jeans
Mhm.
being more out. So, like, what are some of the coming trends, and then what are things that are out, quote, unquote? Yes, of course, I love how you, like, bring it back to choice. Of course, you get to wear whatever you want. It's totally up to you, like, what feels good
Oh, yeah.
on your body, right? And talking about lifestyle, body type, and goals, but I'm just curious, like, what's coming for the fall? What's coming for the summer? What's hot, what's not, like, give us a scoop.
Yeah, and when we talk about trends, like you said, This is just for fun. If you are somebody that really wants to experiment and have fun, that's what fashion is for. So when we talk about this, obviously you can try it, not try it, go with what you like. But a big thing is ballerina flats. Like
Mm.
back in the day, the ballerina flats, but there's different versions, thank goodness, because I am personally, I mean, my clients love it. And, I shop for my clients what is best for them.
Mhm.
But for me, I personally do not like the one with the flimsy little bows on it. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like the elastic
Yeah.
little flimsy. I am
Yeah.
not, I'm like, take the little, like, why is that little tiny flimsy thing on there? But ballet flats are totally in. I love the ones that look like a Mary Jane kind of look
Mm.
with it and slightly square toe that literally look like a ballerina flat. Some of them are sheer. So
Mm.
I have not personally tried that and my clients have not yet. I talked about it on a podcast episode because I'm like, I don't see myself wearing it, but they
Mm.
look really fun and seeing how people style it is really fun. The long skirts are back in.
Mm.
Long skirts with sneakers. So sneakers
Mm.
are not going anywhere. Sneakers
Mhm.
are definitely still in for fall. And
Mm.
you can dress those sneakers up in so many different ways. And I've embraced it as well. I'm somebody that does like to dress up more. And I've been wearing it so much with like trouser pants, dresses, skirts,
Mm.
all the things. So
Like
getting a
what
few.
kind of sneakers? Any kind of sneakers? Like, give us a little bit more detail.
This also depends on your personal style. Like the Adidas, the Samba sneakers, I'm sure you guys have
Mhm.
seen everywhere in all the colors, red, green. That's very much more of a sporty athleisure look, which is not mine. For
Mm.
me, I like something more elevated. So like a Ted Baker, Tory Burch sneaker goes better for me because I still
Mm.
like to look professional when I'm with my
Mm.
clients.
Mhm.
So you can go different ways. Rag and Bone has a good in between. So the Rag and Bone sneaker looks casual, but it could also look like a clean, elevated look as well.
Mm.
So there are so many things that you could do with sneakers. So
And
many
what
ways.
about like the ballerina flats? What do you recommend? Are those good with long skirts? Can you wear them with the wide leg pants? Give us a scoop on that.
I would do it with skirts and dresses. They look really cute with a straight pant. Wide leg pants need some more bulk on bottom.
Mm.
It needs like
Yeah.
a chunky sneaker,
Yeah.
chunky loafer, a wedge. It needs something chunky or else
Yeah.
it feels like it doesn't go. Yeah.
Totally. Ooh, it's so good. Okay. Oh, I had a question about this. So, with these wide leg jeans and pants that we're all like slowly but surely getting on board with begrudgingly, I do have a couple pairs that are really cute. But you mentioned like tighter fitting tops. Do you recommend, like, do we have to have a belt? Because I feel like that's like maybe an old rule. And I wonder what your thoughts are on that. Like,
You definitely
if you're tucking something in, do you have to have a belt?
Oh, yeah. You definitely do that's a good rule. You definitely do not need a belt, but I would say, especially if you're doing, like, solid top, solid bottom, it
Mm.
really does look really much more put together with a belt.
Mm.
So having a good brown belt, having a good black belt is really great. Another thing I didn't there's so much that's in and out that's going through my head, but another thing that's really big right now and you're gonna notice this now that I tell you, you're gonna see this everywhere, is black. Black
Mm.
is so big for spring and summer this year, which
Mm.
usually I mean, it's still bright colors, but black is a big color this year, so you could do, like, a black top, black belt, light colored denim, and then black chunky sandals, black ballerina flats, black anything on bottom. So, black is a big
Okay.
color right now.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Mhm.
Okay. What advice do you have for people like me who love clothes, who love to look cute, but we hate shopping? She's like me.
Nobody comes to me saying, "I need help because I love shopping." No, 90% of my clients hate shopping.
Mm.
So, tell me what you need help with when it comes to shopping because you hate it.
I just hate it. Like, I don't want to spend
Yeah,
my time
yeah.
shopping.
Then you need a stylist, number 1, because then you're not gonna have to do it, that's the whole point. Just to let you know, there is not if you don't like shopping, there's not too much you can do to not shop. Because let me tell you, there are style boxes, which I'm not a fan
Mm.
of because they don't integrate your personal style, they don't integrate what you already have to work with. They
Mm.
can send you things that maybe you have 5 black t-shirts already, and then they send you another, and you're like, "Well, now I just have 1 new black t-shirt." So
No, I
fortunately
totally agree. I hate those
yeah,
style boxes,
if
to
you
be honest.
don't like to shop, you do need some kind of support, whether it is a group coaching, whether it is a personal stylist. I talk about this all the time. When you don't like shopping, which a lot of clients do, is you go on Instagram and you see someone you like and you buy their whole
Mm,
outfit and then you get it and then you try it on and you're like, it fits them so good. And now I tried on, it doesn't fit me. You do,
mm,
if you don't like shopping, you do have to take the time really to create a capsule wardrobe for
mm,
the season because
mm,
then you get it set and done. And then you don't
mm,
have to think about it again until something comes up, like maybe you have a big interview or something that you have to do. And then the next season, you can handle it again, do the big investment for that season of the pieces that you need, create that new
mm.
capsule wardrobe, and
Yeah,
kind of like set it and go.
that's so cool. Okay, so explain to us what a capsule wardrobe is. I feel like I get it, but
Yeah.
explain to the audience in case some of us don't get it.
I am calling it a capsule because that's what people know. But
Mm,
I personally, when I work with clients, I actually call it a foundation wardrobe. So, capsule really means that you have pieces that easily mix and match together. The beauty about fashion right now is that there is a blur between what's casual and dressy. So, you can really mix and match things and create 15 to 30 outfits head to toe with just a minimum of
mm,
maybe 15 new pieces. And I know that
mm,
doesn't sound like a lot, but I can show you a ton of closets I have put together with like 15 new pieces where we create a ton of looks. So a capsule wardrobe is just like a curated wardrobe of pieces that easily mix and match. The whole goal with it is that you can go to your closet and you're like, I know it fits well. I know I
mm.
like it. I know it fits my goals. I could pull this out. And if I'm on the go, I don't have to think about it twice and like take it off and try something on and then take it off and then try something else
Yeah.
on. So that's the whole point of a capsule wardrobe. And it doesn't have to be boring. Like people assume when you read about it, it's
Oh.
like, oh, it's neutrals. I can't add color. I can't show my personality. And you can definitely add that. But because you don't know how to do it on your own sometimes, I find that people get too safe and they get like the
Mm,
black and the neutrals and they forget to add their own personality to their looks. So you can create a capsule with color and print as well.
I love that. So I imagine I know the answer to this, but I would love for you to give us your take on like the runways, the newlies, these rental companies.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So I order things for myself from many companies because I need to see the quality before I recommend
Mm,
them to people. I also have done Rent the Runway and all the rental things. I have to say, as a stylist, I do not enjoy rental companies. The idea is amazing. I love that it's sustainable. I think they're on the right path.
mm,
But for example, I think I did the 7 item one.
mm,
Maybe 1 or 2 things fit. So you can't use a
mm.
rental company thinking you're gonna get a whole outfit that you can wear. You're gonna get one thing and then have to figure out how to add it to your wardrobe, and sometimes it doesn't fit right, but you still wanna look cute, so you, like, belt it, you, like on the call, you, like, pin it somehow. It not my favorite. I was gonna do a blog post and I didn't share it, but
Mm.
if you do, I'm gonna share it with you. I didn't
Yeah.
even write it yet, but if you do the rental company thing, you really need to plan things out. So, one, you need to
Mm,
pick things that integrate with what you already have so you have a complete look,
mm.
or else you're going to get that thing from the rental company and have that one item and be like, I don't know even what to wear with it. I have to buy something now
Yeah.
to be able to go with the thing I'm renting. Number two, I highly recommend. I found I enjoyed renting their accessories, their jewelry, and their
Ooh.
handbags so much more than the
Ooh.
clothing. I rocked one of the handbags for 30 days and did not swap it out for anything that month
Mm.
because I was like, I love this handbag so much I could just buy it.
Yeah.
So, and they used different jewelry that I rented, and I wore that so much more than the clothing.
Oh, that's so fun. That's kind of a
So
fun
that's
hack.
another one.
Yeah. I love
Yeah.
that.
And number 3 is for special events, it is actually nice to try to rent the dress. If you get 7 items that you can pull, one of the dresses should fit at least close to good enough to do for an event. So for events, I think it's great if you're doing a one item and that's a dress and not a whole suit or anything. I think it's
Yeah.
worth it because you can wear I wore to a gala this red, oh my gosh, I forget what brand it was, but it was like a $900 dress and I
Mm.
rented it for 150. So
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I looked really good in it. It was very expensive. If anybody asked me at the event what I was wearing, I could tell them what I was wearing and had no shame. And, and it looked good. So, yeah,
Oh, I
those are my
love it.
3 tips.
Okay, that's so good. That's so helpful. Okay, so I love to talk about how getting dressed and wearing an outfit that you feel good in is actually like the opposite of vanity. It's the opposite of superficial. Because to your point earlier, it's like we're wearing these clothes all day long. And I feel like if you don't feel good in your skin, if you don't feel good in your body, we're like robbing ourselves of this form of expression. Like for me, I mean, you can't tell right now because I'm wearing like a Spanx. I'm dressed for my lifestyle. I've got my mama form on right now, but I've got like a Spanx sweatsuit on, which by the way, it's so cute.
Mhm, I know
But
which one you're talking about.
yeah, it's so comfy. I love it so much. So I really think that the way that we dress can be, if you want it to be like an art form, an expression of who we are inside. So I'm sure you agree with that. But if you could speak to that and how you help your clients with that. Like what if
For
they don't
me,
know, right? Like what if they don't know their sense of
yeah.
style? Like I know mine just because I've been into, I wouldn't necessarily say like high fashion, since I was a teenager, but I've always been into clothes and fashion and like looking cute since I was like 13. But if you could speak to that, I think that would be really helpful for the audience.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I like to tell people a lot of people say they don't know what their style is, but
Mm.
unfortunately and fortunately, what you are wearing is part of your style. It's part of
Mm.
you. And if you want to change it, you have to figure out where you're at now and what you want to do differently. So that's
Mm.
that shift in trying to find like, okay, if I don't like what I'm wearing right now and I feel like I don't have a style, it just means that you just don't like what it is at the moment. So you
Mm.
need to fill in that gap of what do I want to look and feel like? It is definitely not there. I would say there are some people that dress for vanity. There is a difference. There are people that dress for vanity, but for the most part, we all just want to look and feel good. And
Mm.
it definitely shows in how we show up for work, how we show up on a date, how we
Yeah.
show up even for ourselves. Just a personal story, when I was my baby, when she was just born, I wasn't going out anymore. But for me, I love dressing up. And that was the one thing I could do for myself to be like, I've got this day. I've got my shit together as much as I can. Like putting my outfit together made me feel like, okay, I've got it together for today. Whatever happens in the craziness of new
Mhm.
mom life that I was at that time, like discovering what that meant. I was like, if I got my makeup on, I've got like a cute outfit she could spit up on. Like
Yeah.
it's fine. Things are gonna be fine. So it
Yeah.
really helps you show up differently for yourself. Even sometimes when I'm sick, I'll go and get ready just to be like, you know what? I can look in the mirror and be like, it's okay. It's okay
I
today.
completely do. Yeah. Yeah. You can sort
Something
of
simple.
fake it till
Yeah.
you make
And
it. And sometimes it's like I don't feel good just because I'm having some thoughts, right? It's like I'm not
right.
actually sick. It's just I'm in a funk. And I feel
Mhm.
like an outfit and a little zhuzh can like snap me out of it or at least make me feel 10% better.
And let me share a story too of a client
Please.
I had. So I have so many client stories, but one of them, when we worked together, he trusted the process. So when you work with any coach, it's like you got to trust the process. He's like, I know I want this for myself. I know it's going to change me as a person, but I don't know how yet. And we worked together. And 30 days later, I heard back from him. He's like, because he got the 30 outfit package. And he was
Mm.
like, I intentionally wore one new outfit every single day. And he's like, in 30 days, what happened in my life? And this guy was just tech guy, always at home, didn't go out. He's like, because I was dressed up for the day, he's like, I intentionally, instead of making coffee for myself every day, I went out to the coffee shop and I got coffee and I sat there and worked because I felt good. I felt like if I ran into somebody I knew or if I
Mhm.
met somebody, I felt good and I could have a conversation with them because I didn't feel like I had to hide. He
Mm.
said, I ended up making it a point to go out to lunch because I wanted to meet somebody. And he said, I'm in Seattle, so we have a lot of coffee related things here.
Yeah.
And he said that one of the days in that month when he was standing in line to get his coffee, that a woman, and he was wanting to date again. That's why he wanted to like dress up and attract new people in his life. He's like, somebody just started having a conversation with me. He's like, that would have never happened, that somebody noticed me because I felt good. He's like, yes,
Yeah.
it's partly clothing, but it's partly how I've been holding myself
Oh,
and wanting to
100%.
intentionally do things differently. So it starts changing you in ways that you don't even know
Well,
sometimes,
like
you
the
know?
energy that you put out, right? Like
Oh,
if you
yeah.
want to get like a little woo, which I don't even think this is very
Mhm.
woo, but it's like if you are out in the world and you don't feel good about yourself, you are going to repel possibilities, conversations, relationships, whatever. But if you're out in the world and you feel good, that's attractive to people. People
Mhm.
want to talk to you. People want to engaged. People are like, "Oh, what's going on with them? I'm curious."
Yeah, and even, like, going back to the point of making something you, which, by the way, my podcast is called the Make It You podcast, about making your
Mm.
life, making your style you. Sometimes the pieces that you wear can be a conversation starter. For people that are more
Ooh.
casual, sometimes a graphic tee when you're casually doing something means something to you that could attract somebody else that knows what that graphic tee is about and can come up and talk to you. Or
Oh.
yesterday, I was wearing a bumblebee necklace. It was like the special bumblebee I got from a boutique. And somebody came up to me and told me how special bumblebees are. And she's planning an event all around like being together with the bee. So it ends up being like this woman that I didn't even know, like just came up to me and started sharing with me about her event and all this stuff because of my necklace. So it's interesting. Like sometimes our clothing also pieces that feel like part of us can attract other
Mm.
people in a different way and can create
Mm.
a new conversation, a new friendship, a new connection.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. Yeah.
Oh, that is so cool. Okay, I wanted to ask you about style. Like, yes, we all have some style right now in this
Usually.
moment,
Yep.
whether that's on purpose or not. But how would you help a client, or what questions can the audience ask themselves to give them a little bit more clarity on what their style might be?
I tell people go into your closet. People want such a quick result of like, oh, I feel like I have nothing to wear, nothing fits. Let me just go shop without even addressing what's actually going on. Even if your closet is tiny, even if you have to stand there, go in front of your closet and just be very honest with yourself. And I mentioned this earlier, like write a sentence of where are you now? Do you feel good in this? Like, what are you wearing now? And
Mm,
the second question, after you write that, what do you want for yourself? How do you want to look and feel? And
mm,
it doesn't have to be, sometimes you don't know exactly what that is, even if it's a couple words. Like one I always hear is like, I want to feel more comfortable yet put together. You
mm.
might not know exactly what that means yet, but if you have that definition and that written down, next time you start trying things on, you could ask yourself, does this feel put together to me? Because if it doesn't, it just has to go. Going back to
Yeah,
that point of like getting rid of your closet, when you try something on in the fitting room, when you try something on at home, if something doesn't feel put together and it doesn't align with how you want to look and feel, do not make it work.
yeah,
Don't
yeah,
make something work that does not work for you. Don't settle because of the price. Don't settle because it once worked for you in the past. Like,
yeah.
there's so much that we didn't talk about because there's so much to talk about with that. But
Oh,
even when you're losing weight, and it happens with clients because they end up losing weight, and then we look at pieces from the past. I'm like, "Do you even wanna wear the pieces that you had boxed up? Like, those favorite jeans that you wore 10 years ago? Is that even the woman that you are anymore?
mhm,
No." When you lose weight, you feel so damn good. You're like, "I want all new things. I wanna, like, feel my best. I wanna show off my body." I had a call
mhm,
today with a client that she was like, I was wearing things that were baggy because I didn't like the texture of my body when it felt so soft. And she's
mm,
like, and now that I'm starting to lose weight, she's in the weight loss process. She's like, I'm noticing I don't care anymore. Like, I want to wear something kind of sheer, showing off my arms and the pieces that worked for you before when you were a certain weight. I would say just let them go because you're holding on to it, and then when you open it up, you're gonna want something that feels, like, fabulous, that makes you shine, that
mm.
shows off all the hard work that you put into, like, creating this new you.
Yeah. Okay, so, like, creating our style can be, like, really a discovery process, it sounds
It
like.
is a discovery process, it's trying different things, it is defining what it is and asking yourself, "Does this make me feel this way?" And
Mhm.
being very honest.
Yeah.
Also, in creating your style, you want to I'm always about making a checklist and a plan. You gotta make yourself a plan. What's missing from your closet, you know?
Mhm.
If you have
Yeah.
a ton of tops and you're like, "I have no jewelry that could, like, spice it up," or jackets, take a note of that, and next time, catch yourself because you'll probably notice, "Oh, I naturally just gravitate to
Yeah.
tops because it's easy."
Yep.
But now, instead of investing in another top, let's invest in the other piece that I need in my
Mm.
closet instead.
That's so good. Oh, I love that. Okay, so let's just make sure this is the advice because you just touched on it. But my clients are losing weight, obviously, or they lost all the weight, but then they have these clothes in their closet that don't fit, but they don't want to get rid of them because they're afraid. What would be your advice to them on that point?
Fear holds us back from so many things. Fear from not living our best life because we have to wait until a certain point to lose the weight to wear the bikini or wear that pretty dress. And I just tell people, like, live your best life now. let
Mm,
go of that from the past and open up space for this new you
mm.
that's coming in. Sometimes holding on to that is like fear of what if I go back?
Oh,
But
yeah.
I say if you take it out, it means you're not going to go back. You're not going to let yourself go back because you're like, oh, I don't have it anymore. I
Yeah.
can't go back to it. It's kind of like when you have the sweets in your pantry. If you have it in there, you're going to want to go back to it. But
Yeah.
if you don't, it's like, nope, that's not me right now. That's not me anymore. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
It's really
accepting it.
reaffirming and
Yeah.
it like solidifies the new identity that you've created. Oh, it's so good. Okay, we talked about so many points. Okay, there was a couple other points. Talk to us a little bit about like following your intuition when it comes to your style. Because again, I feel like there's so much advice out there like this is hot, this is not, this is in, this is out. So talk to us a little bit about being able to listen to our own inner voice when it comes to style.
We sometimes know a lot more about ourselves in general than we give ourselves credit for. When
Mm,
you're in a fitting room, and I'm going to give this example because I think we can all relate to it.
mm,
Sometimes you try something on and you're like, doesn't really feel like me. And then you walk out, and then your friends and the salesperson and the person in the fitting room next to you are like, oh my God, that looks so good. It fits so like it's like a glove on you. And you're in your mind like, what are these women thinking? And then you buy the piece because you're trying to make it feel like you, and it doesn't. So I just share that because I think it's really important to know that you need to find yourself in oh my gosh, wait. What did you ask?
oh,
These are done.
no, about
There's something totally different.
no, I think you were on it. I think you were doing a great job. I was like so listening. I was just talking about your intuition and like
Oh,
listening to your like own inner voice when it comes to
yeah.
your
Okay.
style. Yeah.
Let them clip that and then go back to share that story still because that has to do with intuition. Sometimes you know for yourself what you're actually going to wear and not. And
Mm,
you block it off because you think like, oh, that's the it thing. Oh, everybody complimented me on that. It must be me. And it's not you. And for yourself, sometimes what works best for you. When I'm
mm,
shopping with clients and we're in the fitting room, when they come out of the fitting room, I could tell
mm,
they really love that piece or they don't. And it's the way that they hold themselves or how they're like,
mm-hmm.
if you're, like, touching it, it's not you and you're doubting it, and sometimes they ask me, like, "Should I get this? Doesn't it look good?" I'm like, "No, why are you gonna get" you're, like, fidgeting with it. Imagine going the whole day wearing
Yeah.
that. Like, sometimes and I as a woman owning your own business, I like people telling me what to do too. It feels nice somebody telling you what to do, but for yourself, sometimes what you need to do, and you don't
Mm,
need to hear it from somebody else. If you are knowing, like, gosh, that piece, that's just $35. Oh my gosh,
mm,
that price. But it
yeah.
doesn't feel good or look good, but you wanna buy it because of the price. You're like, "Oh, well, I need to fill in that gap in my closet and check it off." Don't buy it.
Yeah.
Those things add up. It really adds up.
Agreed. I was about to ask about that because that's kind of my take on it as well. Okay. So
Really
talk to us about clients or the audience. I think that this is a habit that we can get caught up in is just wearing the same old thing, wearing their same old clothes over and over again. And again, there's nothing wrong with it if
Mhm.
that feels good for you, but just speak to us about like why we get stuck sometimes.
It's easy to get stuck in what we know,
Mm,
especially because you don't like to shop. When you don't like to shop, you find that shirt at J. Crew that is like the perfect style and you buy in every color. And next season, when it's out again, you buy the new color because you don't want to go out and experiment and take the time, which makes sense. But you need to go out there and explore. You need to go shop. You need to go find new things and add them to your closet. So don't wear styles that worked for you in the past. Also, if you have gone through a transition in your life, like you just had a new baby, you're stepping it up in your career, you're trying to change your personal brand, you need to reevaluate and go into your closet. Is this going to fit me in this new phase of my life that I'm going into? I am a true believer and I drive my family crazy. I am not somebody that enjoys clutter. I want to find my things. Everything in my house is so intentional. Even my kids,
yeah.
my kids' toys, I throw bags out all the time and donate them because I'm like,
Oh,
nope,
me too.
I'm not playing with this. I don't need to look at the stuff that we don't need. So be very intentional with what you bring into your life, into your closet, what you are wearing, because it changes the way that you feel about yourself.
Yeah. Oh, so good. Okay. Any closing advice or tips or tricks that we didn't get to that you feel like the audience should know?
I say follow people that really inspire you.
Mm,
When you are looking through Instagram at the people that you want to dress like, sometimes it's not necessarily their actual outfit. Sometimes it's the vibe they have. So kind of evaluate, because a lot of people show me their Pinterest boards, they show me
mm,
who they're following on Instagram. And it doesn't always necessarily mean that it's your style that they have, but it's something about them that you're attracted to. So keep note of that when you're reflecting on what you want for yourself, because there's something
mm.
about that is attractive to you, but it doesn't mean that everything that they're wearing is for you.
Yeah, that's so helpful. Okay. Tell us how we can find you. And you have a webinar that you're, or masterclass or something that you're going to gift us. Tell us the scoop.
Yes, you can find me at thecloset.edit on Instagram. I love hearing from you guys. I love when you send me DMs, send me your questions, connect with me there. If you want more information just about the styling services, I work with everybody everywhere. That's myclosetedit.com. And on myclosetedit.com, you'll be able to get the free webinar on how to build your capsule wardrobe in 30 days, which I share so much goodness on there. You get so
Mm,
much information. So
I
go
love
on
it.
there. By the time this comes out, you'll get the replay, but still, join the replay. You get a
Yeah.
free gift
Oh,
from the replay, by the way. So, yeah, hop
oh,
on.
fun. I'm going to do that.
Yep.
Okay. I
Mhm.
love it. Thank you, Tanya. Thanks for coming on. This is just like selfishly, this is like really fun for me. I love it. Got to go get those wide leg pants.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. All right, everybody. I hope you guys have the absolute best week ever. Don't forget to leave a rate, a review, share this podcast with somebody that you know would love it, and have the best week ever. Bye. Hey, if you've enjoyed listening to this podcast, I would love it if you leave a rate, review, and a subscribe on whatever you're listening to this podcast in. Pretty pleased with a cherry on top. It would help me so much, and it would help all the other mamas out there hear this message. Thank you in advance. I really appreciate it. And you have to come check out the Yummy Mummy experience. It's my proven lose weight for the last time group coaching and course. Head to lauraconley.com and just click work with me. Other than that, you guys, I would love to give you a free gift. If you want your free listener only gift, go to lauraconley.com/gift. And from there, you will get your free best ever weight loss hack. So cool. The last thing I want to tell you, you guys, is I do have a free Facebook group. It's called, you guessed it, The Yummy Mummy. Lose weight for the last time, end body drama, and get food freedom. You can just search that in Facebook, or again, you can head to the show notes and you'll find the link there. All right, you guys, have the best day ever.